A NASCAR Campbell Truck Series heads to Charlotte Motor Speedway for the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. And what looked like was going to be a driver's first career Campbell Truck Series victory turns to win for a Cup Series regular. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. I just got done watching NASCAR Cup Campbell Truck Series race from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the North Carolina Education Lottery 200. We've got a lot to talk about from this race, and especially in that race. Let's go ahead and just go ahead and talk about it. So, for the green flag drop in this race, a couple of drivers would have to start at the rear of the field. Haley Deegan, who didn't even get to qualify for the race, she would also have to start at the rear regardless, and Austin himself would have to start at the rear for unapproved adjustments. So, at the start of the race, you had Ty Majeski lead the field from the inside with Zane Smith on the outside. Kyle Busch got to the outside and actually got to the race lead around those two, but the next lap, Zane Smith got around and was able to pass him. Then eventually Ty Majeski got around Zane Smith for a little bit, and Zane Smith got around and was able to pass Ty Majeski. And we saw some good race in early portion, but eventually Zane Smith was able to pull away. Ty Majeski tried to challenge Zane Smith for the stage win, but it would not happen, and Zane Smith would win stage number 1. We then see all lead lap cars come back down pit road with Zane Smith actually winning the race off pit road. Matt Crafton, who pitted from 9th, basically had to back up in this pit box when he tried to exit. A couple drivers would basically get some penalties as well. Stuart Friesen and Brennan Poole got penalties for speeding, and Dean Thompson and Kyle Busch got penalties for being over the wall too soon. Along with Kyle Busch's already early struggles that he was having in this race, he would have more issues. And then we get back racing in lap 37 with Zane Smith leading the field from the inside with Ty Majeski on the outside. And Zane Smith was able to really get a great push from Ryan Preece and was able to take the race lead and would dominate. We stayed green for a little bit, and then the first actual caution for Rex would happen on lap 53 for Tate Fogleman. Tate Fogleman going into turn number 4 would spin from the 24th position and would get into the inside wall and get a ton of damage, bringing out the caution in this race. And then we see a little bit of strategy in this race because we were coming to the end of stage number 2. Derek Kraus, Ben Rhodes, and Timmy Hill would all stay out, with Ryan Preece actually beating Zane Smith off of pit road. We go back racing in lap 58 with Derek Kraus leading the field from the outside, with Ben Rhodes on the inside, and Ryan Preece was in 3rd position. Derek Kraus had a horrendous restart and basically held up the outside line, and then Matt Mills got into the outside wall and crashed really, really hard, bringing out the caution to the end. Ben Rhodes, who had the lead going off of turn number 1, it looked like that Christian had a shot at it, but Ben Rhodes would basically go on and win the stage because he was ahead of Christian Eckes at the time. We then go back racing in lap 66 because all those guys basically that had not pitted, they came down pit road, went back green in lap 66, where Christian Eckes leading the field from the inside with Ryan Preece on the outside, and Christian Eckes held the lead for a little bit until eventually Ryan Preece got a massive push from John Nemechek and got the race lead. And then a few laps later, Ryan Preece got really, really loose, and basically Ryan Preece got the lead, and then a few laps later, Carson Osbar really started charging a later portion of this run and caught Ryan Preece and was able to take the race lead and started really pulling way out to a 3 or 4 second lead. Haley Deegan, when he basically got into the outside wall, had a loose right rear tire. She came down pit road. No caution would come out though. Then green flag pit stop started around 40 laps to go in this race, with Chandler Smith being the first one to come in, then Ross Chastain came in, and then Ben Rhodes came in, and the rest leaders all came down pit road. And then after all the pit stops basically concluded after Matt Crafton finally came in, we basically kept going green, and unfortunately for Matt DiBenedetto, who was having probably the best run he's been having all season, he would have basically a right front tire going down, and basically before after that tire went down, he unfortunately would lose a ton of positions. And then it looks like Carson Osbar has about a 5 or 6 second lead over Ryan Preece. It looks like he's going to cruise to an easy victory in this race. And then mid-packers in the race decided to basically wreck each other. Jesse Little and Tyler Lincoln were battling for 18th position, and Jesse Little basically tried to send it into turn number 3, and they both ended up wrecking, bringing out the caution with 4 laps to go. You really couldn't wait till after the race. You really couldn't wait to hang on. Come on. Carson, of course, every single time has some bullshit happen to him, ends up potentially losing this race. And then we went back green for the first overtime restart with Carson Osbar, who chose the inside with Ryan Preece on the outside. They battled really, really hard for the lead. Carson Osbar got really, really loose going in the corner. Ryan Preece got into the outside wall, but Ross Chastain really, really helped out Carson Osbar going into turn number 3. And then Ryan Preece and them both had contact going into turn number 4. Both of them get into the outside wall, and Carson Osbar, who clearly has the win basically in the bag at the time for the caution came out, he backs into the outside wall, bringing out the final caution in this race. And then after that, Ryan Preece, because of the damage he got, feel for Carson Osbar, by the way, we'll talk about him later. But Ryan Preece would basically had to come down pit road with a flat tire. And then we go back racing for the overtime attempt with Ross Chastain leading the field from the outside with Christian Eckes on the inside. This restart would absolutely get nuts. We see Christian Eckes and basically get the race lead from Ross Chastain. Then all of a sudden, we see craziness coming to the wide flag. Grant Enfinger gets behind Ross Chastain. He gives him massive, massive push. You got Zane Smith going down the backstretch. He tries to send it 3 wide. You got Kyle Busch, who's also up there all of a sudden. But Ross Chastain would get a great push from Grant Enfinger. And coming off the corner, unlike the other Nice Motorsports truck, Ross Chastain comes off the corner and picks up his first Truck Series victory of the 2022 season and his third victory in all of the 3 series combined. While Ross Chastain did not have the best truck, at least the right team got the victory tonight. I mean, I feel for Carson Osbar, but at least Ross Chastain really gave a lot of props. Fox, by the way, missed a full watermelon smash. Why the hell you do that? I don't really understand that. But Ross Chastain, in I believe his second or third Truck Series start of the year, picks up his first victory of 2022 in the Truck Series. Maybe this will be some momentum and confidence for Ross Chastain going into the weekend when we go to the Coke 600. So, huge congratulations to Ross Chastain. He basically kind of had to earn his win kind of back into this win, but congratulations to Ross Chastain regardless. So, now let's go ahead and get through the race results of this race and talk about some other stuff about the race as well. So, Ross Chastain picks up the victory in tonight's race. Grant Enfinger finished second. Grant Enfinger really was about a 6th or 8th place truck most of the night, but he's been really picking up a lot of good finishes recently. I think that's his 3rd or 4th straight top 5 finish. So it's great to see that Grant Enfinger is finally getting the finishes he deserves. GMS has really been generally struggling this year to start off, so it's good to see the Carson Osbar is starting to form really, really well. Great run for him. He finishes in 2nd. John Nemechek finishes third. Very solid top 5 for John Hunter. He looked horrendous in the beginning, but they worked on that truck and became a winning contender near the end of this race. So great run from John Hunter. He gets another top 5 finish and is definitely a championship contender. Christian Eckes finishes fourth. Very great run for Christian tonight. He ran in the top 10 pretty much all evening in that number 98 truck. So very solid run from Christian in 4th. Zane Smith finishes 5th. I have no clue what happened to Zane Smith. I know it was difficult to pass tonight, but Zane Smith looked like he had the strongest truck early in this race. He and Ty Majeski did, and they never just seemed to get back up front in this race, and it's a shame, but he still got a top 5 finish. He's also a championship threat in my eyes. Tanner Gray finishes 6th. The first top 10 he's had in a little bit, so great run for Tanner Gray tonight. He really was never a threat in this race either, but he ran top 10 most of the night and gets a very solid top 10 finish. Kyle Busch finishes 7th. Kyle Busch absolutely struggled. He was outside the top 10 a lot of this race. He hasn't had, before this race basically started, the last time he had to finish outside the top 10 was like 13 or 14 races ago. So to see Kyle Busch finish 7th isn't good. We picked him all coming into the weekend to win, and he just was terrible. The 51 truck was horrible. Multiple penalties in the race that took him out of contention. He was angry on the radio and still got a top 10 in this race. Good run, not a good run for Kyle Busch. Chandler Smith finished 8th. Chandler Smith's been kind of struggling recently, kind of faltering recently. He's had a lot of runs that really haven't been that good. So it's good to see him get a top 10 finish. He really was never a threat in this race to begin with, but they worked on the truck and still get a top 10. Stuart Friesen, after winning at Texas this past week, gets backs it up with a top 10 run. Solid top 10 for Stuart Friesen in 9th position. Ben Rhodes finishes 10th, a top 10 for him. Good run for him. Ryan Preece, after his issues late, he finished 11th. Ryan Preece had some very controversial comments basically said about Carson Osbar, basically saying that if you kids, you want to come and race, don't do what Carson Osbar did. Ryan, I understand you're frustrated, dude. There's a couple factors you need to understand. We'll talk more about this week. Ryan, Carson owned up to his mistake, and literally, dude, he's going for his first win. You got an opportunity in Cup, and you're probably getting an opportunity in Cup once again. You're probably going to Stewart-Haas Racing. But, Ryan, you don't need to act like that, especially to Carson. Not the right time to talk to him like that, because he's going for his first win. I understand his frustration. He's every right to be upset, but the kid's going for his first win. Come on. You don't need to be that pissed. But he got 11th. That's also his first worst finish in Truck Series history, his Truck Series career, which is kind of nuts. Derek Cross finishes in 12th. Ty Majeski looked really good tonight. It was actually a threat. I thought it was going to be a threat tonight in this race. Looked solid early. I have no clue what happened to Ty Majeski. Never really got back up front and never contended. I know he's around 5th or 6th near the end. That's probably going to get a top 5, but all the chaos and craziness near the end took him out of contention. Colby Howard, very solid top 15 finish. He finishes in 14th. Chase Purdy finishes in 15th. Carson Osbar finishes 16th. Better finish tonight. Should have won this race. He had the best truck at the end of the day and should have won this race. Thank you, Jesse Little and Tyler Ankrum, for screwing him out of a win. You screwed him out of a win, dudes, and I cannot believe that. You guys are running 17th and 18th, and you took him out of contention. Carson should have won this race. He's been screwed so many times this year. I want to see him win so bad. I'm just frustrated that Carson cannot win a race. He's like Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson of the Truck Series. Matty D finishes 17th. Matty D tonight really had a better truck tonight. Unfortunately, that tire got him out of contention. Matty D, whether you like him or not, he's definitely been somewhat okay in the Truck Series this year. He's had a decent year in trucks. He's not been amazing, but it's a team, and he's seriously right now not that far outside the playoffs, which coming this year, I thought he was going to be outside playoff contender. Solid year for Matty D. Unfortunately, 17th is where he got, but not a great run for him tonight in 17th. Matt Crafton finishes 18th. Matt Crafton was never a factor. He really struggled tonight and got 18th. Chris Wright finishes in 19th. Tyler Ankrum, I'm pissed at you, dude. I like you, but seriously, you've been struggling with the Tory. You should be finishing better than where you are. You're in a Tory truck. You're a guy that should be in the playoffs. I don't understand that. The 16 truck literally made the playoffs last year. He finished 20th. Timmy Hill, who really had a great qualifying run for the Xfinity Series race, he'll be starting 9th tomorrow with that car. He finishes in 21st. Lawson finishes in 22nd. Jack Wood finishes in 23rd. Spencer Boyd finishes in 24th. Austin we saw finishes in 25th. Max Gutierrez in his debut in the Truck Series gets a solid top 30 finish. Not bad for your debut. Kept his nose clean all night. Didn't cause any problems on the track. Haley Deegan finishes 27th. Haley Deegan really struggled tonight. She actually was starting to rebound and recover and potentially could have gotten the top 20 tonight, but their season's been horrendous this year, atrocious. Something's got to change to that team. I don't know exactly what. Dean Thompson finishes 28th after issues early in the race. Tay Fulgham, after crashing, finishes in 29th. Blaine Perkins finishes 30th. Josh Green finishes in 31st. Jesse Little finishes in 32nd after crashing out. 33rd for Keith McGee. 34th for Matt Mills. And finishing last in 35th is Brennan Poole. Unfortunate for Brennan Poole because he actually was running really well in the top 25. And they had drive shaft issues that took him out of contention. So now, we'll talk about the overall race as a whole and give you my score of tonight's race. Overall, I thought really for the most part this race was okay. The first half of the race, first like 30, 40 laps of stage 1, really the first half of stage 2, I thought were absolutely spectacular. Stage 3 is kind of where the race kind of got drawn out, and yes, I was really happy if Carson won, but the second half of this race really wasn't great. And then the finish made the race a little bit better tonight. So for my score of the Truck Series race, I'm going to give it overall a 7 out of 10. I did want to see a little more in the middle portion of the race for the race to be better, but the finish, beginning and the end is really what matters. And a 7.5 out of 10. The middle does matter, don't get me wrong, but a 7.5 out of 10 for the Truck Series race is my score for tonight. So, anyway, that's game for tonight's race review from the Camp World Truck Series race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notification on be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on pages on the list schedule below over that, and comment your thoughts on tonight's race. What are your thoughts on tonight's race? Let me know below. Let me know your score in the comments below, and congratulate Ross Chastain on picking up the victory in the Truck Series race at Charlotte. Let me know in the comments below. Tomorrow there will not be a NASCAR Xfinity Series race review, but I actually am planning to do a Coca-Cola 600 starting grid video to get you guys set up for the Coke 600. Along with tomorrow, on Sunday, we'll have 2 videos coming out, and I'm going to be on another YouTuber's channel next week that I will be announcing here either tomorrow or Sunday. You'll be hearing that announcement here in the next couple days, so stay tuned to that announcement here in the near future. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.